Before the intro screen even pops up, you get given the choice between Japanese or English. Choosing the English shows us an alternate name for the game, Tornado Appetizer. What looks like two random words glued together is probably just that, a strange mistranslation. Ginga actually roughly means galaxy, meant, I guess, to represent the whole galaxy of different games on offer here. There are a massive 12 different games you can play. Suck on that, Trump boy. 4 of which use mahjong tiles, 4 use playing cards, and 4 are board games. The 4 mahjong games are pretty terrible. None of them are actual mahjong solitaire. Ghost seems to have completely arbitrary rules that involve turning over tiles, trying to get them all flipped over. However, depending on the number on the tile, the pattern of the ones that get flipped is different. You just go round in circles, clicking on tiles until you get bored and change game. Pressure is just as strange. You have to match tiles that are removed and replaced by other ones in a way I can't figure out. They can only be removed if they're on the edge, leaving a bunch of tiles stranded in the middle with no way to get to them. I have no clue what's going on with race. Allegedly the point is to match 2 stones, but clicking on pairs doesn't work. Clicking on the same number but different suit doesn't work. Combinations that do work don't seem to have any correlation with each other, and eventually I got so sick of the illegal move sound effect that I moved on. Array makes sense at least, but it's not interesting. You need to place stones on a board in such a way that they are removed. You have to remove 500 in total before the board gets too full. I can't imagine playing this for long enough to reach 500. All the card games are variants of Patience. Golf is the first one. This is a simple solitaire game where you have to remove cards that are one above or below the one in your hand. You have a limited amount of draws to use and you need to clear the whole board. Nestor has 49 cards laid out in rows of 7. You have to match pairs from the visible ones, including the 5 in your hand. The 2 jokers are also in play and can represent any card, clearing the whole deck. In Pyramid, the rule set is incomprehensible. I have no idea what the aim is. Based on the other games, you'd imagine it was to match suits, numbers, or have ascending-descending series. None of that is the case here. Who knows? Double has a 6x4 grid of cards. You have to match adjacent pairs. If you run out of pairs, you can move everything along and refill the grid with cards from the deck. Proceed until there are no more moves left. There's literally no skill involved in this one, it's pure chance. 15 Puzzle is one of those 4x4 sliding tile games that used to infuriate you as a child. You need to rearrange the pieces to make the original design, with only 1 free slot available. I hate it, but it does what it means to. Change is basically the same. I hate it too. Solitaire is not the card game or the mahjong game of the same name, unfortunately. Those would be good. This is Peg Solitaire, but without the entertaining puzzle spin that Laszlo's Leap gives you. Knight is a game you can play on a chessboard called Knight's Tour, whereby using the standard Knight's chess movement, you need to touch every square once, and only once. Riveting stuff. If you win, you get an animation of a bunch of dragons in a square. They all light each other's heads on fire with their flame breath. During any game, press Start to choose to retry the level, generate a new game, or change your cursor speed. Press Select to go back to the main menu. A really simple concept, but not having to reset your game every time you want to change is very considerate. Presentation-wise, I don't enjoy the music at all, but you don't need it. The graphics do what they should, not hampering your play and being clear enough to see everything. I'd say about 50% of the games are playable, and of those, 50% are actually reasonably fun. That's your lot though. With 12 games on 1 cartridge, they're not all going to be hits, but there might be enough in Ginga to keep you entertained for 10 minutes at least. With these multi-game carts, it seems the balance between quantity and quality is proving a difficult line to tread. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below, and if you can spare a second, give the review a quick thumbs up, it really helps out. Subscribe to the Portable Power Podcast for a new Game Boy review every day from Monday to Friday. Or alternatively, new episodes of the podcast drop every Saturday and Sunday on whichever platform you get your pods. See you later on.